Chirac asked the question in relation to RFIs, so requests for information, specifically when it comes to things like police clearances and medicals. So I'll just draw this out to make sure I'm comprehensively reiterating my answer to Chirac. Partner visa is applied for. Okay, so let's say you're applying for the 820, the 309, or the prospective marriage visa. Then you're going to wait. There's going to be a process of waiting to hear something from the government. Okay, how long you wait will be variable. There's no way for me to know exactly how long an application will process for. No one can tell you, unfortunately. We can only go off averages. We can only go off what we're experiencing for client cases. Other Veazy users can, I suppose, express how long they're taking to get an idea of how long things might be taking. But let's say you're waiting anywhere from 6 to 12 months for something. Then what you might get is a request for information, RFI. Let's put a question mark, which is where the government are requesting things from you that may not have been provided previously. You may not have provided those items during the waiting period or even when you applied. Most commonly, the things you might get requested to provide are things like medicals and possibly police clearances. Okay. Now, these RFIs typically have a 28-day deadline, in the sense of the government will say, please complete your medicals and please provide, the AFP for the sponsor, the AFP for the applicant, let's say the Canadian police clearance for the applicant, and maybe the applicant also is well traveled, and maybe they've been, to the UK as well for more than 12 months. Please provide the UK police clearance for the applicant. So, you've got the sponsor's clearance, and then you've got the applicant's clearances, right? And the medicals. So, as you can probably see, it's going to be very challenging to try to get all of these back in time within this 28-day deadline. So, this is what you do in that instance. You just provide evidence that you have applied, that you intend to provide these documents to the government. So with medicals, you provide, let's say, a screenshot of the confirmation email from Bupa if it's an onshore medical. You can provide a screenshot. It's going to say the date, the time, and confirm the HAP ID. That's your confirmation. You would just rename that accordingly. So that would be a PDF, or it might be a JPEG file, just an image file. And you would rename it. You would call it something along the lines of health intention to undertake medical booking confirmation. Hope you can still see that. Yep, booking confirmation. Okay, quite a long title, and you might need to shorten the title. I'm not sure how many characters it lets you put when you're renaming documents. From memory, there isn't a limit, but let's assume that there is. You're just trying to rename it so that the case officer can see that this is in relation to the health criteria, that you intend to undertake the medicals, and you can clarify what it is you're attaching, which in this instance is a screenshot of the booking confirmation. Okay, you just attach that to the IMI portal, so you attach it to your application. In terms of what category you select, honestly, it shouldn't matter, but from memory, there is a medical examination intention to undergo category specifically. Just put it there. If you can't find that particular category, just include it under anything. Just anything that's closely related, or just anything generic or miscellaneous. What matters is that you've attached it and you've named it clearly. You've labeled it clearly, so the case officer can see what it is, irrespective of what category you uploaded under in the IMI checklist. Okay, and the same principle applies to attaching proof that you have applied for the AFPs, the Canadian clearances, and the UK clearances. You're just providing proof of applications, and you're renaming them similarly. You're renaming them character, intention to provide, AFP, and receipt, something along those lines, and you're doing that for each one of these, and you're attaching separately proof of applying for each of those things that have been specifically requested, and that's effectively how you avoid any problems regarding a 28-day deadline. Because realistically, some of these things may take longer than 28 days, especially things like medicals, where particularly for onshore applicants, there is a bit of a backlog, a bit of a delay in terms of the next available clinic opening slots and availability. So, we're finding that it's very normal for people to book medicals, 2-3 months away, because that's the next available time slot, closest to where they are. And that's fine. It doesn't matter that you haven't completed the medicals within 28 days. It just matters that you have proven that you will be providing and completing the medicals, and you just attach that evidence within the 28 days. If you attach this evidence, the application is not going to be refused if these things then take time. Because the government know that things like medicals and police clearances, are dependent on third parties, and things can take time. And I've never, ever seen a partner visa refused because something like this is pending, as long as proof has been provided that you intend to provide or intend to undertake things like medicals and police clearances. And that is effectively what I told Chirag to do in my answer, is to provide proof that you intend to provide the Indian police clearance in this instance, and that's it. That's how you get an extension. The government won't respond to you. They'll just see that you're in the process of getting them, and that is an indirect or an unofficial extension. Okay, that's how we approach requests for information. We've never had a problem in 7-8 years that we've been doing this, and the 10 plus years that I've been doing it, outside of just Salvo migration. And yeah, it's the methodology we apply, and you won't have any problems if you follow it as well.